Hello all, this is Scott Grove of GroovyMusicLessons.com here with another review on a bass I've done a couple reviews on before, but I had to get another one. Why? Because that's what I do. I find something I like and I get a whole bunch of them. Yeah, I'm starting that again. I never know what I want to do. Again, another Gibson grabber G-3 from 1976. Okay, this is back in what was called the Norlin years. That's, who owned the place, Gibson back then. And this is my opinion and my professional opinion. This is not fact unless you believe it as much as I do. But I always tell you when it's fact and when it's whatever, but you can't have this as fact. I believe the Norlin years are by far Gibson's best years ever for all their instruments. And everything that Bill Lawrence did with Gibson is what made those years the best, which was everything that had a bolt-on neck. And they always used the maple necks. So got Bill Lawrence pickups and all these, the Corvus, the Challengers, the S1s, the Marauders, the Sonics, on and on. There's so many amazing guitars that everybody just keeps overlooking. They're not overlooking them so much now. Just the My Les Paul people are still shunning them for some reason, but they proved to keep being beautiful. Again, this one made in 1976. They came out with these very early in the 70s. They quit doing them in the early 80s. Come 1980, they went with the black cover over top of these pickups. You can see the copper windings right here, and these acrylic Bill Lawrence single coil pickups. Only thing missing here is the bridge cover, which I will find another replacement for. And anybody have one out there that is a real one, not a reproduction, let me know, otherwise I'll find one. Maple neck, maple fingerboard. They are not one and the same. It's not one piece. It's actually a maple, you can see it, fingerboard or fretboard, whichever you prefer to call it. Huge body, thin, very thin. They're light. They're actually not that heavy. The big monstrous headstock with the massive vintage looking tuners. Well, they are vintage, I guess. I'm vintage. Every time I take a pee, I know you want to hear this, I always realize, hey, I'm holding an antique in my hand. Okay, I know you didn't need to see that or hear that. Well, at least you didn't see it. Okay, grabber 3. You don't see that a whole lot on the back of the headstocks, so it's kind of rare. But you always will see the 00. In 76 and 77, Gibson did not use, where they stamp into the wood. It just didn't happen. They just used these oval stickers and stuck them on the back of guitars. My 76 Explorer up there is that way too, just the decal. There you can see it right there. It's just a decal, no stamping for those years. So 00 means 1976. Okay, there you can see the neck joint that loves to break. The Gibson neck plate. Strings go through the body right there. And again, very basic, simple bridge there. In 1981, they discontinued the bridge cover. Okay. And then a couple of years ago, Gibson did a tribute to these, which was nothing like it. They had a set neck, and they had a pickup here. They had one here where the middle one is, and then they had one way up here. Sounds like hell. So it was called a tribute. It was not reintroduced or anything or brought back. It was just called a tribute, so they didn't have to be accurate at all. So they changed everything, which made these great. There's the regular grabber 1 that had the sliding pickup. One pickup that just slid back and forth. If you remember those, what Gene Simmons used to use those in the Ripper. Okay, and then there's the G3 here. Again, 3 single coil pickups, but they are always in a hum canceling mode. Your first position down here puts you on this pickup, the bridge, and the middle, like a Strat. Put it all the way up. Yes, I'm skipping the middle for a reason. Gives you this one and the middle one. Okay, but they're both in totally hum canceling mode, like a Strat would be in a 2 and a 4 position. And this is before Fender Stratocasters had. No, this is actually the same year that the Strat, 1976, same year that the Strat started going with the 5-way switch to get the hum canceling. Okay, it's not out of phase like so many of you are so ignorant about, so I'm trying to not condescend to you, but just let you know that there's no such thing as out of phase when you go to a Strat in the 2 or the 4 position when it hum cancels and gives you that quacky sound. It's not out of phase, it's just hum canceling. It's all it is. You're using 2 pickups and the middle one is just reverse wound. That's all it is. Put it in the middle, okay? And you get all 3 pickups on at the same time. It's classically referred to as what's called a buck and a half. It's not really humbucking, but it does get rid of the hum. But they call that a buck and a half because they're bucking the hum 3 times, so they thought it was clever, so it kind of stuck. Okay, the white is correct for the toggle switch cover. Everything else is correct. 15, there's 20 frets, plenty. These things just sound monstrous. It's easily my favorite Gibson bass in the world. Like I said, anything from the Norlin years just smoked everything else. My old collection with all the guitars that I just mentioned before, with all the S1s and Corvuses and Marauders and Challenger 3s and all the weird guitars. Oh, such a great collection. I probably should have kept it, but so much better than these things. That Firebird or those Explorers. That V is actually great, but as far as, and then that Les Paul just sucks major ass, but that's from the new guy. Well, not the new guy, the guy that's had Gibson forever now, but Gibson's just really shitty and should close down. Okay, now let's go back to when they were good. Check them out. All these positions, plug them into the Hartkey HA3500 head, and going through the ash down. It's got a 410 and a tweeter. It's their high-end cabinet, the 410T. Very expensive cabinet, nice stuff. Got the blue speakers in there, you know the ones I'm talking about. Anyway, so here it is with the Strat style configuration. So middle and bridge position. Go to the upper position, so you get this one and the middle one. And I do some Gene Simmons here for you. Somebody always wants me to play Sure Knows Something every time I get a Gene Simmons-esque bass on. Okay, setting off alarms again with all this low end. And finally, in the middle, your buck and a half, all 3 pickups. I love it there. It's just so great. I'll just do the straight old picking again. Okay, so very cool. And what else can you say? That's it. It's just an amazing bass. And for them to bring them back and do such an injustice to the tribute models were just horrible, but typical Gibson. You know, might as well get the Norlin years again. Just stick with the stuff from the 70s and you'll be fine. Everything before that I personally hated. Everything after that I personally hated. Slap tones, do you care? I don't know. Let's do them real quick, all 3 positions. position 1. Love the lover boy. Middle position, all 3 pickups. And top position. Okay, so I'm going to shut up all the alarms going off in here. Tone knob. Okay, so the old mud bass sound. So again, Scott Grove here of GroovyMusicLessons.com with the 1976 Gibson Grabber G-3. Okay, just a cool ass bass, and you can't have enough of these. These should be some of the most classic basses ever made. I'd say get rid of Fender as far as the P bass goes, and leave the jazz bass there as far as being an iconic bass, and then put this one there. Okay, everything else since has been, you know, cool with all the active stuff or whatever, but as far as a solid, straight, passive bass that has tons of great tones, as does the jazz bass, this should, by all things known to man, should be iconic as all get out, because the different tones you can honestly get from this are amazing, and it's really not that heavy at all. Their the Thunderbirds are much heavier. It just looks like a big size body, so it makes fat guys like me look skinnier by comparison. So a beautiful thing. Check out GroovyMusicLessons.com for free bass lessons, guitar lessons, every other lesson there is in the world. Got some lessons there on this bass, or on my other one like this. So get you a Gibson G3 from the 70s, or 80, 81, and then they quit making them because Gibson snobs are just Gibson snobs. But yes, they actually made some good guitars at one time, and this was one of them. You guys take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.